Hi, I'm Jennifer with Resilient Life Therapy, here with a lot of great ideas and techniques and tips to help your life feel better. So I'm in the middle of making a series of videos on narcissism, and I am here today to talk about the narcissistic spouse or partner. So somebody asked me to make a video on this, and I struggled a bit because I feel like I covered a lot of the really crucial information about being in relationship with a narcissist in 2 other videos I've already put out, and that is 10 signs you are in a relationship with a narcissist and the 10 ways that narcissists control you. So if you were here to get information about a narcissistic spouse or partner, I would really strongly encourage you to go watch both of those videos because they have a lot of crucial information in them that I'm not going to cover in this video today because I didn't want to duplicate too much. I really wanted to use the video today to talk about some things that are sort of specific to living with a narcissist and having a family and sort of a bigger life partnership with them. So you can find a list of the other videos in this series in the description of this video down below, or simply go to the playlist for this channel or the videos on this channel and you will see those other videos there. But today I want to talk with you again about things specific to having a spouse or partner who is narcissistic. So first of all, I just want to take a moment to talk about how it feels to be in relationship with a narcissistic partner. There are moments that can feel really good, and that's kind of how they get us sucked in, right? But on the whole, the emotional experience is one of distress, never really quite being okay, because you're always knocked off balance. You're always sort of waiting to be okay with them again. So you're going to have a lot of emotional experience in the relationship of feeling crazy and confused, controlled, afraid, like you're always doing something wrong, isolated, embarrassed, and a lot of feeling really angry without feeling like you have any recourse for that. There's a lot more emotions that go with all of this, but that's kind of a general blend of just constantly feeling like things are not okay. It's rarely a feel-good experience and relationship. So listen, I've talked in my other videos about the key piece with narcissists is they are really not capable of reciprocity, of the give and take in a relationship. So relationships with them are never about reciprocity. They are always about control. And so, one of the big mistakes people make is not understanding this and always trying to get a sort of normal relationship, a normal reciprocal give and take with a narcissist. And you just can't get that with them. So it always feels off. And many people spend years of their life, what I call chasing the ghost. So what I mean by that is they spend years trying to get the good version of the narcissist back. And usually that is the version that shows up when a narcissist is wooing you and you're in courtship. And they can be amazing. They can be super charming and wonderful and make you feel like you are the most important person on the face of the planet. They will literally fly you to Paris for lunch, right? I literally had somebody tell me one time, yes, they did do that. So they sweep you off your feet. But then once you get into the relationship with them and they really know they have you, and P.S., they often will have short courtships. They marry quickly. Not always, but it's a very common thing because they sort of sweep in and it's like your dream person. And so you get sucked in, and you move in with them, or you marry them, you make a commitment to them, and suddenly that person disappears and the other person comes out, and that is not a nice person. And you're left super confused, and you're left desperately trying to get the original person back. And you will pursue this and pursue this and pursue this, not understanding that's not really who they are. And it gets even more confusing, because if you start to pull away and you start to try to leave them, the nice person will come back. It will show up again just long enough for you to go, oh my gosh, I finally got them. And you relax, and you start to relax into the relationship, and then they disappear again. And so chasing the ghost is something that people can do for a really long time. And it's a really frustrating thing and a heartbreaking thing. Okay. So listen, when I help people sort of go through it, or on their own, they kind of come to understand that their partner is narcissistic. They can often feel bad about this, because it can literally take people years to figure it out. And so people can kind of beat themselves up and go like, how did I not see this before? Especially once they get educated about the dynamics, and then it becomes crystal clear, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what it is. And then they feel like, wow, how did I not know this before? How did I not get it? And they can spend years and years in the relationship with a narcissist. But listen, narcissists are really good at kind of fooling us. They can be super fun. They can be charming. They can be great. They really confuse us. And unless you know this stuff cold, for some reason, you know all about narcissism, you're not going to know it. It's not clear. It's just very, very confusing. That is one of the most common emotional experiences of being in a relationship with them, is you're confused. You're so confused about who they are and what's going on. All right. So another really predominant experience of being married or in partnership with a narcissist is like, it never gets to be about you, right? Not really. It's always going to be about the narcissist. They're always going to swing it back around to them somehow. And, if you outshine them, if you do something wonderful, they're not going to be happy for you unless it reflects well on them. They're going to be jealous. If you're sick, they're sicker. If you have a need, you're bothering them. How dare you make me feel bad because you told me something upset you? It will never get to be about you. If you try to make it about you, you're going to end up in a lot of conflict with them. And they're going to bash and bash and bash until they wear you down. All right. So along with this is really understanding that narcissists do not do the right thing, because they are not driven by reciprocity and empathy. They are driven by control. I had somebody the other day, I want to look at what I wrote down, that somebody said this phrase, and I thought it was so genius, and they gave me permission to use it. They said, in these relationships with the narcissist, they said, the burden of emotional dialogue is not carried by them, right? Isn't that brilliant? They don't feel the burden of carrying the emotional dialogue, the emotional reciprocity, right? They don't do relationship. They don't do the right thing. And so along with this, it's really important to realize that within your family system, they're not going to do the right thing for the other people in the family. And if you have children, that includes your children. And this is where a lot of people get very stuck, because they keep trying to get the narcissist to understand the kid's needs. And they're really frustrated and confused. But why won't they just buy them a winter coat? How do you not buy your kid a winter coat? But they don't. They don't do the right thing by anybody, not even their kids. And it's really important to understand this if you are, in a relationship, in a familial relationship with a narcissist who is your partner. They're not going to do the right thing by you. They're not going to do the right thing by your kids or anybody else in their family. It will only be about them. And if you try to get them to see what they are doing and how it was harmful, if you live with one, you already know what I'm going to say. They don't get it. They will never see the light. You can't make them. So they're always going to end up flipping the script so that they are going to be the victim. Always. They will always be the victim. It happened to them. You did it to them. You're making me feel bad by telling me I upset you. They will always flip it to be the victim. Your needs, your hurts, your desires are never going to get acknowledged or validated. Okay? And people get stuck for a long time and in a lot of ways on trying to get something from the narcissist they're never going to get. I'm trying to get that from them. Okay, so listen, if you have a partner who is a narcissist, it is always going to be up to you to make things work. You are always going to be the one who has to bend. You are always going to be the one who has to, finagle things so that the narcissist doesn't get upset. And people in a family with a narcissist, they spend so much time and energy trying to keep the narcissist calm. Don't upset them. Don't let them get mad. Walk on it. We all walk on eggshells, right? The house is never truly peaceful. Everybody in the family is always in the pursuit of keeping that narcissist calm. And so one of the things I talk about in my other video, the last one I put up, I can't remember the name of it, like 10 top strategies for dealing with a narcissist, is you need to be willing to stomp on the eggshells. You need to be willing to break them all to pieces. Because listen, the narcissist is always mad anyway. It's not like you're going to keep them from being mad, right? Because what happens is you're just going to spend all your time trying to keep them calm. And you're also going to be constantly criticized by the narcissist, as is the kids in the family. Although they usually have what we call the golden child, which is one kid who can kind of do no wrong. But generally, everybody else in the family is constantly criticized. And so after a while in this relationship, you're going to start feeling either secretly enraged or, can be both, like you're not worth a whole lot. You start to kind of believe the lies and the criticism. And they project all kinds of crazy stuff onto you. It's really crazy making. Okay, so part of the problem with having a partner who is a narcissist is that you see the real face of them. You see who they are. But often people outside of the family, outside of the relationship, don't see it. Or don't see it clearly. Because they can be charming, right? And people, it's not our nature to understand that people are narcissistic because their brain is essentially broken. And so it's really hard for us to conceive of what they really are. And they fool people a lot. And so people outside of your circle often, almost always, are not going to get it. And this is so frustrating, because if you try to sort of help people understand, they're like, what are you talking about? They're so nice, they're so funny, blah, blah, blah. They don't get it. And, so that's where it ends up leaving you feeling like really isolated and alone and embarrassed, all those emotional experiences, right? It really is crazy making. So listen, if you decide you don't want to do this anymore, divorcing or leaving a narcissist is incredibly difficult. They do not make it easy. The core wound for a narcissist is abandonment, so they don't let you leave them, right? They make it really difficult. And I'm going to be having an upcoming video on divorcing or breaking up with a narcissist. So if that is something you're on the path with, I would really encourage you to watch that. Listen, you don't have to leave the narcissist, right? Like if you understand, hey, I'm in a relation, my partner's a narcissist, it doesn't mean you have to leave. You can decide to stay, but listen, it just becomes really crucial that you understand that the person is a narcissist and you understand fully what that means, and you get really educated and versed in what the dynamics are, and really helping somebody who understands narcissism well walk you through that, which is usually a therapist who understands narcissism, because there's so many triggers for us involved in having a narcissist in our life. So if you do decide to leave them, it is going to be difficult. If you decide to stay, it's going to be difficult. Two different paths. Either way, it's really crucial that you understand the dynamics at play, okay? It's really important that you understand the truth of what it is, and I always say, like, eyes wide open. Whatever decisions you make about the narcissist, whatever kind of relationship you decide to have with them, it's okay to decide whatever you want to decide, but it's like eyes wide open. Get educated, understand it. All right, listen, I hope this video was helpful. Again, I tried to kind of talk about specific things to having a narcissist in the house. You know, I would really encourage you to watch those other videos that I mentioned at the beginning. They will really give you a lot more crucial information about recognizing a narcissist, and also how to deal with that, how to manage that, and sort of like the techniques that they can use to control you. Okay, listen, I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please let me know. Give it a like, give it a share. If you found it helpful, other people will as well. And if you want to find out more about me, you can find my website listed in the description of this video down below, and you can find me at resilientlifetherapy.com. All right, take care, guys. Bye.